Some say that when Jewish people do business, they trust only two things: themselves and the cash they have on hand. For them, even the most renowned magnates might not always have a lot of cash readily available. The world of business can change in a heartbeat. Today's boom might be tomorrow's downturn. But amidst these ever-changing tides, one thing remains constant: cash. This isn't just a Jewish business concept, but deeply reflects their commercial philosophy and beliefs. Let's delve into an intriguing story from the Talmud. Bamu, a Jewish businessman, ran a quaint little restaurant in a quiet town. Though his meals were reasonably priced, a noticeable sign on the wall read, "I cherish your friendship, but please don't ask to borrow money. Debt could strain our relationship." Why was Bamu, who ran such an affordable place, so firm about refusing debts? The answer is straightforward. If he allowed credit, he'd need to pay interest on those debts, cutting into his earnings. Simply put, his hard-earned profits would be consumed by these extra costs. Moreover, offering credit in a small-scale business can affect cash flow and lead to operational challenges. Though this is a minor example, it encapsulates many Jewish people's serious attitude towards cash, highlighting why they value cash flow so dearly. After all, sometimes cash isn't just the fundamental capital, but the key to success. There was a wealthy Englishman named Kyle with a net worth of billions of dollars. Surprisingly, he rarely deposited his money in banks, preferring to keep it in a vault. A Japanese businessman, puzzled by this, asked Kyle, "Sir, why do you store large sums in a vault and not in a bank? By doing this, you miss out on a lot of potential bank interest." Kyle replied with a smile, "Depositing money in a bank means tying up funds I could otherwise use. I'd lose not just the bank interest, but opportunities to invest and generate wealth. Building wealth on bank interest alone takes a long time." The Japanese businessman asked, "So, you're against saving?" Kyle elaborated, "I'm not against saving, but I believe that the returns from investing these savings could far outweigh the bank interest. Putting money in the bank is just for peace of mind. I'd rather take risks and make that money work harder." Kyle consistently invested his funds, seeking higher returns. He believed that real wealth came from letting money work, keeping it moving and growing. That's the true art of making money. A tourist entered an inn in a small town and handed the innkeeper $1,000 to book a room. The innkeeper used that money to settle his monthly dues with the butcher across the street. The butcher then used that money to pay off his debt to a farmer for some pigs. The farmer used the money to clear his feed bill, and the feed supplier paid off his gambling debt. Finally, the gambler who owed the inn returned the $1,000 as payment. So, the money came back to the innkeeper. But then, the tourist decided not to stay, checked out, and took his $1,000 back. Even though no real transaction took place, the town's entire debt got cleared. It might sound odd, but this showcases the economic power of cash flow. Cash is like the heartbeat of a company. It needs to keep circulating, driving vitality throughout the system. For those aspiring in business, the real challenge when having funds is how to make it generate more value, rather than simply stashing it away. Because just letting it sit can lead to devaluation, especially with inflation. If your money's growth can't outpace inflation, then holding on to it too long might mean you're actually losing out.